when I think about your music, it has this quality about it. It seems to, it has this like a feeling of nostalgia about it, even though it's like the first time you've heard like the new record. And I feel like,
oh yeah,
like,
okay,
you know,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like you're in your lyrics, like you're kind of reflecting on the past a lot, but you're also like hell bent on the future, right? You're always in the present and the future. You're always moving forward. So I was just wondering about sort of how you work with kind of past, present, future, you know, having done this so long and been down so many roads. How do you kind of work with that?
Well, I have a lot of experience from traveling around the world, you know, whereas, you know, a lot of the rappers, they don't really get a chance to go around the world like me. So I use a lot of my time with me in the world traveling. So I put it in my music, all my experiences in different cities that I live in. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, all the experience of me going places, traveling, it's like, the experiences of me traveling and staying in different cities and going all over on different flights and planes and television shows from the past and school time when I was smaller, I coincide into my lyrics and in the future, you know, a lot of stuff that goes on in the present time. I have a little bit of mixture of everything, so I can, you know, I might rap about a basketball player a long time ago that's probably not even in the NBA no more.
Yeah.
Or I might rap about a basketball player that's playing right now. You know, so I'm still observant with the past time and the future.
Yeah.
So I let people feel, the people that wasn't in the future, people in the future understand what was going on that they missed as a kid. And I tell people I let people stuck in time know what's going on in the future, because, you know, it's the same with music. You know, you got a lot of people that came out in the 80s. They don't know the latest rapper out in 2018, but I would know, you know, and then the person from 2018 don't know the rapper from, you know, they wouldn't know a rapper from, you know, 1975, 1976 on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's interesting too that you know, I'm 47. I'm not, you know, too old, right? But you know, I feel like there's a lot of you know, you see like now you see, you know, people are back into vinyl and using old school synthesizers and drum machines and the tech, you know, from, you know, the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. And I feel like that they're maybe missing something that we had, you know, coming up where we were hitting buttons, we were dealing with things in person, you know, it wasn't this, weird kind of distant digital interface for everything. You know, do you feel like that? I feel like you're one of the only artists that I know of that's like gracefully sort of gone from that era, you know, to the now and figured out how to synthesize all those things together. Do you think about that?
Yeah. I mean, sounds. I mean, even when I rap on tracks that I did on my albums, when I pick records out, when I do guest stars, projects and me doing my own, but even stuff that I picked that somebody else may have worked on, I have a feeling that is something timeless. You know, if I rapped on somebody else's track that I'd never done, I think it's what I select to get on, what I select to do for myself. I think, you know, it's the song that I feel the signs of me, you know, doing the record. Like I try to pick things that I like, which is, you know, I could pick a beat out that I never did, that I rap on another person's song and it sounds good because it's something that I found. You know, it's like when I did, you know, a song with a certain producer, it is a song that I like and I feel like, wow, like nobody else would have probably used that song. No other rapper would have picked that record to rap, that beat to rap on.
Yeah, I mean, I think about like your work with you know, Roger Troutman and people like that too back when, you know, it's something where it seems like the most savvy people seem to know how to, you know, artists really know how to navigate the aesthetics and the sounds and the people of the past and bring them into the present in a different way. Rest in peace, Roger Troutman. But that's really, like I said, I feel like that you've kind of had this way of navigating that's really special. It's really unique, and it speaks to a lot of people. I don't think it's something that is just like hip hop, underground, subculture. Like you got to know all the things. I think that's why. When you come, like I came to your show here in Nashville last year, whatever it was, and there were all kind of people there.
Yeah, diverse.
Yeah.
From ultramagnetic time to now, it's a diverse Chinese people. And, I have a certain fan. I have a lot of fans in a bracket of generations of the albums. Like you might have ultramagnetic fans that only know like what was into ultramagnetic, and then you have fans that went through the era of Sex Style, Black Elvis, and Dr. Dooom and stuff. And then you have fans that just was Octagon. But the point is getting them all together, because it's like I probably have like 3 different fan bases.
Yeah, and it connects a lot of things, But like a friend of mine who played, I've also worked with him a lot. This guy, Michael Shreve, he played drums in Santana. He played at Woodstock, right, when he was like 19 years old, right? Soul Sacrifice, that whole thing. And he has this whole interesting point of view, because he's like, man, I was 19 when that happened, and that's what people know me for, and they're still talking about it. That's all they talk about. But I've made all these records, for 30 or 40 years since. Why don't they talk about that stuff? Do you feel like, does it frustrate you at all, or do you care that there's just a lot of people that aren't aware of a lot of things maybe you've done because they've kind of punched in at a particular point in your career?
Oh yeah. Well, that too is maybe they didn't catch something. A lot of fans are just spoon fed. A lot of the people too, the audience is spoon fed with whatever is fed through social media and promoted through pop territories.
Yeah,
they didn't get a chance to get to the stuff because some people are lazy. It's just the same as some people have a cliche form of promotion and stuff like that. I try to change the promotional ways. Some people have a cliche form of promotion. So that hurts the fans too, because a lot of people can't, when a club promotes the artist. Sometimes I've been in cities and the promotion of the venue is only used to promoting to a certain, quote of people. So they might have a paper, but they run in the paper in a certain part of the city, could be the artsy part of the city. And then when you leave the town, a lot of people be like, oh, I didn't know you was in this town. I didn't get the information. I think people tend to market like kind of like a Target, which they don't have to anymore.
Yeah.
I think you should market to everybody instead of like zoning in on a territory or something, or a region, or a part of a city. Like, if you set yourself into an area of somewhere, it becomes an area that you're only promoting to. So,
right. Yeah. They call it targeting, right? Back in, when I was young, there was 3 channels on TV. There was 1 newspaper. You know what I mean? There was a lot less options. So people just would, all be on the same page more naturally. And then as far as like finding music, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have the internet throwing playlists at us and social media and all this. We had to go read the record sleeves and track down producers and figure out what studios were what, and that guy played bass on this, and what is that? It's a different index now. Yeah,
and then everybody's a star. Now you're in a vein of everybody's a star now. So before you had people going to the club to see the artist, and that was more focused. But now, if you have a venue and you're doing a show, 90% of some of the people is somebody's a guitar player, somebody's a beat programmer in that audience, somebody's got a rap record coming out in that audience, somebody got their brother is a rapper and they a producer. Now it's like musicians coming to see musicians. I mean, even in music, as far as rappers in general. I mean, now a person that was a fan is a person that's actually making a song or something. You got everybody making a song now. Everybody's a DJ or somebody's a DJ in that audience, or even a call girl is, a dancer, whatever is an artist now. They got an album coming out. So a model has a record coming out. I mean, she's not no longer a model. She has a song, or she's producing an album, or she does beats in her spare time. It's like you said, it's no more. The audience is the actual musician now, which is extra harder because you have to have the actual audience into you that does all those things, which is good. So it makes you more powerful when you got all those different people going to your show. Because that means you're inspiring people to come to see you and they're into your music. But you got to figure you got a person, and each person, a lot of people in that audience is trying to do something, the same thing you're doing. They're trying to get where you being at. They're trying to, are they just coming to see your show? Like, it's like another rock band coming to see you perform, just standing on the side. It's like,
Yeah, it's like if I went to go see Pink Floyd in 1980 or something, I'm not going to be trying to get up to them to be like, hey, listen, I want to talk to you guys about some opportunities. I'm my own brand, and so check this out. Here's my my demo tape.
Here's my demo. Here's my car. Here's my come check out my studio. Now the average person they got a studio. Like you said, it's a tennis player is there. She got an album coming out. A stripper got a record. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like I said, a pimp's whore is a rapper now. Anything is, it's a pimp he got an album. The whore has a record. I mean, you know what I'm saying? She has an album coming out. It's all, it goes all around the board.
People that have been doing, I think, interesting studio work that are more behind the scenes and not people like trying to get a bunch of shine necessarily. One of the people that comes to mind that I know you worked with, at least at some point in some way, is Bill Laswell, and I know you did that conspiracies piece, like I don't know, late '90s or something. Do you remember that at all?
Oh yeah, the record. Yeah. I like Bill Laswell. I liked a lot of his albums.
Yeah. I feel like his stuff was really like, because I was up in New York in the mid '90s, late '90s, and doing the whole like knitting factory thing, getting in with all the weird sounds,
Yeah.
And I know he was pushing a lot of that out of Greenpoint, and so I was just wondering what your experience was with that, because I feel like that was like a really.
I met Bill Laswell. I went to Europe, and I went to Europe, and he had a lot of records and stuff like that, and he had a song. But I heard a lot of his songs before. He had a song called Reproduction. It was dope. It was a lot of times I saw him in Europe, and I think I seen him once. And he had a house speech telling me, how he collaborated with different people, and I seen him in Europe, and I never thought I would get a chance to work with him, so he sent me that beat one time, and I did it. It was good, and it was a moment. That was a good moment.
Yeah, well, I think that he had this way of getting sound too that was just worked. Yeah. It just worked real well, because he was one of the first people, I think, bringing like really big low end and low bass frequencies into like a different, like out of hip hop and into like world music type of sounds and all this. But he was really pushing beats real hard.
Oh yeah, Bill Laswell, definitely.
Yeah. You did the cover art for Sextile, is that right?
Yeah. I directed that cover for Sextile. I got it done in LA. I was at Kurt's, and then I told Kurt to take the picture. It was Sextile was like a 3-step cover because we went to I forgot the name of the graphic place. It was in LA, and I took the picture and I put the card there, a dimension cover. So the album was just like, it was done with 3 sets of pictures. Yeah, the car was taken outside. Then I put myself in there. Then I had like some Cocoa Puffs on the floor. And then I had Spontaneous Ecstasy do the picture. She was Tim's girlfriend at the time. And then the cover was like, it was clear. Then we just made it like some weird purplish color, and the Cadillac had a pink top, like it was a sedan DeVille or something. And it was just freaked out like a painting that was just artsy. It was like the colors, we dyed the cover like a purplish cover, like Los Angeles nights. Like when I first got to Sunset and Sunset Boulevard at night, it was like when I got to California. It looked like, I remember I was riding from Roscoe's one night, and it looked like I was riding from, like the sky was purple, like a pretty purple, like a beautiful purple.
Yeah.
And then I said, I'm gonna make this cover like California, like California had like a lot of like a purple night kind of look to it. And when the sun goes down on Sunset, it looks purple with the lights, like 42nd Street. So,
yeah,
you know, I liked it because it was like that cover, like it was a different cover from. Remember the Ozzy Brothers had that cover one time, and they were on Broadway, and they was walking to Sunset Boulevard from Manhattan. It was like a double cover. It was like they were coming out of space
from Sunset Boulevard to 42nd Street.
Yeah. They had a cover like they was walking. Like it was just they was on the cover, but they looked like they was in both places, like half and half.
Yeah.
Like it was like it was like kind of like 42nd meets Hollywood Boulevard or something. It was a cover like that. So it was like, yeah, that cover. It was like those covers inspired me too. So, but I did that one was like me. It was like a Sunset Boulevard cover in my, like LA, my whole essence of sex. That was a picture of me in Los Angeles and all the time, and the, you know, the fun I had, the nightlife and the fun, and just me being a photographer myself and taking pictures and collaging stuff together, and you know, the fun, like Hollywood was the essence of adult entertainment, and that was the cover. Like it was just like a cover. That cover like said so many words. And I have one, you know, I seen in the books it was like voted as one of the best covers in Europe, like one of the best covers. It was in a book one time, one of the best covers of an album ever made.
You can't forget it, right? You remember it. It's just one of those things. You just remember it. But yeah, I guess I was curious if you had any, if you did like visual art kind of stuff or shows or photography shows or, you know, kind of press that part of it.
Well, what happened with that album too, it was the point of me, you know, making funky ass records, and the logo was like a black tail silhouette that I cut out of the magazine. Like I did a lot of ideas myself without the record company being involved as marketing. That's what I think a lot of successful things for me with Dr. Dooom and Sextile, those covers and stuff, it became successful because a lot of the spontaneous ideas I came up with, like those were good little marketing plans and stuff. So I came up with it.
And people can smell bullshit, right? Like when the art is so disconnected from the music because the labels just, you know what I mean?
Well, what happens too lately, you know, I haven't been, you know, people forgot how I got popular with those things, making those little 12 inches out of nowhere and putting out records, you know, any time of the day, you know, the structure of releasing a song whenever, like, you know, throwing an album out with 2 songs on it, a single out, and I had no structure. But it worked for me back then because it was like spontaneous ideas, and the fans loved it. I made like little baseball card pictures of myself, and I had those things. I looked at those things the other day. They was all over Los Angeles. I took them around when I go on the road. I made, picture cards that was hard cover with glossy enamel to them.
Yeah.
I made my own baseball cards of Black Elvis and stuff. Like I used to make cards and go and print like 1,000 of them out of a box, just to give out to people, leave them in the record stores. And people had that stuff as collections, they were like, can you imagine like a Black Elvis baseball card or something? Like you printed it up yourself. So I did like 1,000. I forgot I was doing so much independent promotion myself. I didn't wait for the record company to do a lot of promotion. I made other little flyers for myself. I made things that people could collect at shows. I printed up telephone cards to give out sometimes that they look like the size of a business card, but they had damn near maybe some crazy picture on it of me on there. People used to laugh at it, but they used to take it. They used to be like, "This is interesting." So I had a lot of that stuff that added up. I put a billboard up on Sunset La Brea of me as Black Elvis, and I didn't wait till like a company says, what are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
What is it going to be? This can't go up hanging up on Sunset if it's not marketed. It has to be something to it.
Yeah.
I did a lot of spontaneous marketing that got me more popular back in the days than ever, because now, a lot of people don't listen to me anymore. It's just the same, even when I worked with Octagon with Automator, I think he listened to me more when the first Octagon album came out. And then when the second album came out, like the first album was me and him, just me and him, and ideas was just me and him. And then when the project blew up, and then we took a hiatus for 4 or 5 years, and we never talked to each other for a good 7 years. And then we went back to do another album, and it was, when the first album was successful and people, having 1 million views, and Blue Flowers have 1 million, and the album was a big album basically, and sold a lot of copies. It was a very big international album that broke through the alternative, urban, pop, rock. That album penetrated every market, but I think it was better because me and him was together, and we made all our little ideas together. And then I think when the time changed, the people saw the success. We had a bunch of new ideas put in by people, the record company, the friends, and everybody. Now it's like 20 people trying to make the pot of stew that you only made, that me and him only made. So
now they got an opinion.
Now everybody has opinion. Now the ideas that you used to have is no good no more. People are paying you no mind. You're the guy that blew up the project with a lot of things. Just like, me and Cutmaster Kurt and the Sex Style and all different stickers and posters and little gimmicks I might have had, or if I wanted to put my picture on a baseball card, all those ideas went out the window. When I wanted to put you want to put the funky ass logo up on the top of the record cover so the needle could go right, the little pin could go right through the hole of the girl's butt, but the record is playing the girl's in the center and stuff like that. So those ideas was taken away from me by everybody that now is 20 people trying to make those decisions now. So then, as future things came out, the say-so became less because people forgot. They forgot Keith made the baseball cards. They forgot Keith made the Sex Style album cover. They forgot Keith printed up whatever business cards with his face on them. They forgot, they forgot those little things, and those are the things that made things popular to jump off. So then after all that stuff got successful, everybody started wanting to take over. Like, oh, you doing this album? Okay, I want to have 20 people involved in it. Okay, I want to have to say so. But you forgot that it took little things to make that stuff big.
Yeah, I mean, it's people. Marketing and committees is where good ideas go to die. I think like it's just it's the truth of people getting together and whatever you guys did in San Francisco, right? Like what it was like donuts and Yoo-hoo for 5 days or whatever. Like that's the
all that stuff.
That's the spirit.
All them little things became like obsolete. Like, okay, Keith didn't need donuts and on the next project no more because it's successful now. We made it. Keith is going to do it the way the record company suggests that every other artist in the world does it. So what happened is they took me out of the format of doing it the way that I was doing it independently. So what happened is they took away the formula. If something is broke, you can't fix it. It was never broke. So what happened was they were trying to seem like they were doing something else. And, you can't have, if you built a rocket ship that went all the way to the moon and now you're going to make another one, now you got like 50 people trying to make it with you. It just took out the fun. They should have just let the original people make it. So, and that's where he lost the trust because people saw the success of it, but those same people wasn't there when you made those little things, the gadgets to make stuff happen. Even with Sex Style, the people wasn't there when, it's like people want to get professional. Like, say if you wanted to do Sex Style too, you don't have just me and Kurt there going up to, Future Disc and making flyers and putting up the funky ass logos and, doing real independent stuff and taking a cover from the street and, collaging it together at a graphic place. But now, like you said, everybody will want to get you a professional photographer now. We know this guy named John Wright. He's the best photographer out now. He's going to take the next album for you when you took the original album yourself with a camera. And people loved it, and it's in the book that as the best album cover of the world. But now somebody wants to shoot the next album for you now because everybody went corporate and, we're going to use Bob Murphy. He shot, the next, he shot the top 40 artists already, so, we're going to use him cliche now. So that's what happened. Everybody went cliche on the next round. So, that always happens. You create something real big, everybody joins in and everybody gets over professional and over produced. That's why they should have left it like, a deal like that. The deal should have been structured like, okay, if you sign to a major, but you're still going to do it like, we're going to let you do the pre-setup independently. That's like if you sign with any major label or something, you just was a subsidiary and they let you have your freedom of ideas. Do that no more. So what happened was they just took over the project when that's what happens to everybody. Everybody starts from scratch with the little ideas they have. Then once the majors get involved, they take the ideas and then, somebody in a label is doing your album cover now and it's not no more you no more. So it's kind of, then they want to market it like you did it, but you really didn't do it. You like, I didn't do this album cover in my mind. You did it because you got like somebody in the staff doing the album cover now and you're not doing it. So, and then when the project doesn't go the same way as it did before, people are looking at you like, are they talking to you in a panic? Oh yeah, we gotta, because the people didn't listen.
I'm sure you've dealt with this a lot, where it's like there's a lot of people that they don't have it really going in a way that's authentic to themselves. So really the only thing they can think of to do otherwise is try to attach themselves to somebody else's, as you said, like a rocket ship, put their stickers on it,
Yeah, everybody want to get their logo on the ship going up now. Like, you only had your sticker on the ship. Now everybody wants to make sure they plug their little sticker in on the ship. But you're like, this ship went up by itself before. Now everybody wants to put a sticker on it. Like, yeah, I got my sticker on it too. I want to, so that's what happened to a lot of these projects. So,
yeah.
It becomes to be, it was two people driving the ship. It was just me, him, and Cuba. And it goes into, like you said, 9 other members, the booking agencies involved in the ship. It's too many people, too many hands to make, too many hands. The stew was good before with 2 people making it. And like you said, now 10 people is cooking that fucking stew, and it tastes like shit.
Yeah, it's all weird colors now.
Yeah.
I know you had to go through a process of, teaching yourself a lot of production, and it was something that you had to look around you for inspiration. And I'm sure you got a lot of people that maybe can help with this and that and the other, but it's really a decision that you made. That's not getting in and understanding all these machines and how these things work and really feeling it is a long process. So I guess I was just curious about your journey to sort of your own production, and like, were you like, back on SP12s or MPCs?
I didn't use the SP12 or MPCs. I had put a lot of stuff, played a lot of stuff into Pro Tools and looped it myself.
Yeah.
Mess with other people's records. I mean, I grew up on Everybody, Brick, Slave, Jazz Band, Confunction, Undisputed Truth, One Way. But I didn't, Al Hudson. I didn't care, Johnny Guitar Watson, you name it, Kool and the Gang. But I didn't want to become a sampler. I wanted to make my own. I wanted to make my own music. Like, it's cool to find records and search for them and loop them, but I really found records to play them. Like, I bought like Cameo and stuff to play.
Yeah.
So when I did music, I bought it to play for myself and observe their music and say, wow, they made that. And I said, I want to be like them and make my own sound and stuff and play my own stuff so people could one day buy my records and be like, I want to sample something Keith did, So I didn't want to become like a sampler or, which I would do once in a while, rap over some samples, but I didn't want to become a sampler. I wanted to become a original music maker so people could buy me, put me in the same vein as if I was, Confunction, a Brass Construction, BT Express. I could make my own music. So I wasn't fond of like me sampling, stealing their music and using it and looping their beats. I got into my production because I didn't want to beg anybody to make me records, and I don't want to, I had to beg producers, and I remember those days. So I started playing keyboards, making my own stuff and sounds and fitting myself, which they had the thing that the producer could never be the rapper could never be the producer. When you heard a lot of producers rap on tracks, I heard, like even Pete Rock rapped on songs and stuff, and it sounded good, Diamond D. But me, I wanted to be, the rapper was it was a crime for the rapper to make his own beat, which I did on Black Elvis. I proved, like, Living Astro has 1 million plus views but I did the song because on an album I had to be another producer because I was afraid of people and I had to go by the criticism. People would have been, Kool Keith made the beat, we don't like it. So it's a lot of beats I made out there that, even on the Feature Magnetic album, I did the whole album. And it was great, the success of the songs. But I never had to I couldn't use my name as a producer because people were so fond of hearing that Kool Keith can't do a beat for himself. There's got to be somebody. I want to hear him with a fantastic collab producer. I got to hear him with a collab producer. Keith got to either make a record with one of the, he has to be on a track with Alchemist to really make it in this world. He has to be on a track with, Photech. He has to be on a track with, somebody has to do a record for him, So that wasn't the point. It's just the point people were more programmed to me not making songs anyway. They were so much into me lyrically that they didn't think I have the creativeness to make my own records and sound good at the same time because they never could see, they can't never see a producer. You can't see Jay-Z making his own record. You can't see Rakim making his own record, but you could, but they don't, they program themselves to say, well, Big Daddy Kane can't program no beat. He should have a producer. Coogee Rap can't program no beat. He should have a producer. But I wanted to prove that theory wrong. Like there are lyrical artists who have been in the music industry that should be able to produce themselves. But a lot of guys can't produce themselves because they have a rapper state of mind. Me, I did a lot of production behind the scenes on, all the Ultra albums, Tim Dog. I played the bass line on Ego Trippin'. A lot of stuff I was into producing. So I didn't ever claim production and put my name on stuff because it was a stereotype anyway. People would probably hate the record. I would just be an alias on production, and the song blew up big. Like I played Blue Flowers, the bass line, and the bass line on Girl, Let Me Touch You There. So I didn't claim that stuff, but it goes to show the records were better. Even they were better when I was on the stuff. When I was touching some of that stuff, that's what I'm saying. When these guys start going into their own production, even me and Cutmaster Kurt, Sextile was like a collabo in production wise with me and him, because I felt certain bass lines. But I just think when they start trying to do it by themselves after the record turns successful, then they want to do the next project. They don't want you to touch it. It's like they use you to blow up the stuff, even with Automated, they use you to blow up. And then when it's time to touch it, they got other people coming out of nowhere blowing horns and putting the sax on the record, putting the keyboard on it. Somebody else is going to play guitar on it. And they forgot the real essence of how the record got popular in the first place.
Yeah. So I wonder about, like, it feels like if I were a rapper, I would want to make my own beats, because I feel like that there's so much going on with rhythm and cadence and flow. I feel like sometimes you can have 100 million producers, and you might have a rap, but you like, none of these 100 million of producers got what I want to do right now. But I exactly in my mind know what I want to do, and that's the thing I'm trying to say. It's what you want to do in your mind. It's sometimes, it could be the best producer. It could be Aurelia 7. It could be Timberland. They just might not have what you have in your mind for the point to do it. And you might feel like, I got to go make this myself. I already know what it is. But everybody don't have the beat for you like you want sometimes. But some guys have a lot of beats you can pick from. You might pick something near it, but sometimes they don't have exactly what you was looking for. Exactly. Sometimes you got to go make that beat yourself. So I made a lot of stuff, but like you said, some of these guys can't make no beats anyway, and some of these guys can't pick beats. A lot of them, so that's a lot of time and art too. So I know you're into basketball.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if you had any interest in fighting or combat sports.
Not really. I mean, I like to watch. I watched a lot of people box, and I stuck to boxing, and Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, and people, Michael Doak, and stuff like that, and Chuck Wepner, and whatever have you, Joe Frazier. But I'm saying I like to watch all kinds of boxers, but I mean, I never had any really times in that moment I watch all kinds of sports, like even when baseball, basketball, like the trend now is like a lot of the artists, they go to the games, but they go as a cliche, but if you ask them about Alex English, they don't know who he is, but they're sitting on the side court. They don't know who Rick Barry is, but they're sitting on the side court. They don't know who Michael Ray Richardson is. They're sitting on the side court. So I'm just saying, it's not really real pure basketball fans. It's like fans that's going to the game to be seen, sitting on the sidelines, but you asked them a trivia question, they couldn't answer it. Yeah. You asked them about, who was Marvin Webster, but still know what's going on now, but still knowing Stephen Curry and still knowing, still knowing, all the Golden State Warriors roster, still knowing Klay Thompson and everything. Yeah. Still knowing, like you said, the Boston Celtics roster right now, still knowing Durant, still knowing Irving, and still knowing not just Michael Jordan, but you got a lot of these people now, they just sitting on the sidelines. They don't know nothing about no basketball. They at the games. I see them as, like, not a real pure fan. Like, I'd rather see somebody that can talk about Slick Watts, and then they can still talk about, you know, like, the most current NBA player right now. You know, that's, to me, a real fan, not a person just going to the game to get a camera on them so they could get a cameo. They could say they sitting down in the front row and sitting downstairs.
What do you think? What do you think was like the peak of the NBA? Like what, you know what I mean? Like what? I feel like it might have been like.
I mean, I liked it all kinds of parts in the ABA. Artis Gilmore, Larry Keenan, Al Skinner. You know, Kevin Porter. You know, like you said. I was looking last night, like Cassie Russell, Campy, you know, all that stuff, Spencer Haywood, all kinds of down the list. And then, you know, all the way up to, you know, the Rockets, Robert Reed and Rudy Tomjanovich and going up to, you know, Kenny Smith, everything in general, all the way up to, you know, to Hakeem Olajuwon right now. The peak was right there. Yeah. Olajuwon, the Rockets, and you know, just all that stuff, and all the way around the board to David Thompson, Sidney Moncrief, and, you know, Marcus Johnson, Brian Winters, the Bucks, and, you know, way before Giannis, you know, even though you know Giannis, but the pure essence of the Milwaukee Bucks goes way deeper. You know what I'm saying?
That's back when that's when people could actually touch each other and it wasn't a foul.
Yeah. I mean, to know all that stuff is great. To know, you know, Darryl Griffith and Adrian Dantley and stuff like that. But they don't know. People just look at basketball for now as the trend. Like even the girls, they probably their husband, they don't even know nothing about his background at all. They just date the guy and they just be like, I go with a ball player, but you don't know nothing about his college stats. You don't know nothing what team he played in. You don't know where he was drafted. You don't know nothing. You don't even know how his high school baseball card, how his high school basketball card looked. You know, I think the women wise in baseball know them more than the ball player. I think the girls in ball, they don't, you know, I was looking at those college games one time, you know, girls were sitting on the sideline, you know, but it was like a lot of students. There was a lot of students that went to the game, but you didn't see girls on the sidelines with their red bottoms, you know, sticking out on the wooden floor while they was running around because they didn't go to those games.
There's a scene.
Like when you watch those college games, they're not even at those games, but as soon as those guys get drafted into the pros, now they're there. Like from that point on, like you didn't know nothing about nothing in college and nothing. It's like, you know, and that's the same with some of the guys. They're the same way. They don't know nothing about what college he went to, what team, his dunks in high school, and nothing. You know, they just go straight to the point of now. Like, you have no, like, that was the fun to look at a person's statistics from the past. Like, his growth. Like, you follow Jordan through North Carolina and stuff like that, you know. But it's not like, these people is like, skip high school, skip college. I'm just gonna watch you till you, like, when you get to the NBA, that's when I could watch you. Like, I'm not seeing you do them. I'm not seeing you in college when you serving people in college either. Like, I'm just gonna skip and watch you in the NBA, and then I'm phony enough to try to stand up next to you and get pictures with you, and then possibly try to be with you. Or if it's a guy, I'm gonna be with you and take selfies. But if it's a woman, I'm going to try to have a baby with you and start a family, but I don't know shit about you from the past.
Right. It's like, I don't know how many rebounds you have, but I want to be with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how many rebounds I don't know how many points you scored in high school. I don't even know if you went to high school, but I want to be with you now because I heard you signed the contract. And I don't even care if you look like Frankenstein, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying. It's just, that shit is like, that's the shit to me, you know, and it's like Spike Lee sitting on the side of the court. I don't know what he knows in the past. I can't denounce him, but you know, he probably need trivia questions to himself, because you just can't sit on the side of the court and you don't know shit about basketball and you want to wear like an orange and blue shirt there every night. Just because you can attend every game, it don't mean you know shit about basketball. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Me, I was going to basketball since the Nets was playing in Long Island. When they was playing, when I was going, I remember my aunt gave me tickets to go. Jack Sickman them was out, and I would go see the Nets was in Long Island playing. Kevin Lovery and people didn't even know it was the ABA in the NBA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Spurs was the ABA team.
Yeah.
You ask these monkeys about that, they wouldn't even know.
George Gervin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even know. Julius Erving, the Nets was the ABA team. These assholes don't even know. But they want to sit on the sideline. They don't even know. You know, it's funny. You know, probably half of them don't even know. They probably sit on the side, especially like when you look at these girls come, you know, to these arenas. It looked like they saying when they score a dunk, they said, "Did he make a touchdown?" They don't even know. Huh?
yeah. But they're courtside. That's all that matters, right?
They don't even know. They don't even watch. They ain't not even watching the game. They texting, putting a post of a picture with a thong on Instagram, and they didn't miss the dunk. Huh? No, I'm just saying. It's just a ludicrous, you know, it's a ludicrous fan base. It's just like you said, it's a stupendous fan base out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not a real fan base.
There's a lot of fake shit, and it's a weird world. Yeah. It's a weird world now because it's getting more.
Like you go to a basketball game just to say you was there, but you want to put it on you want to put it on your social media. I got a seat close enough to sit next to. I got a seat close enough to sit next to. I'm sitting near Kawhi Leonard tonight, but I don't know shit about him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. But Kawhi doesn't even say anything. Nobody knows anything about Kawhi.
Yeah. I don't even know the stats of what school he went to or nothing. I just see a tall guy with braids.
Yeah,
and he's supposed to be Kawhi Leonard, but I'm going to try to, I just take a picture with him. I don't even know what college he played with. I don't even know how many points he got tonight. I just know he's been running up and down the court all night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the kind of people there. Like, it's the same, it's the same with a lot of things, Well, football, they got helmets on, they can't see them really. They just assume anybody with a helmet on is there, but they can't see. Yeah, but I'm just saying the like you said, it's no authentic fans no more.
Anybody at the top of their game in a moment, Jordan putting up a double nickel on the Knicks or whatever it was, these moments where, they all describe this kind of flow state, right? Like the basket got so big that I couldn't miss, and like I was just in another zone. Do you have moments like that, like when you're performing where you just know that you got to another place and you felt connected to something maybe greater than yourself?
It kind of like, I take every place to feel the same, basically, for myself. I mean, I was doing it so much that I got naturally into it. Like, I look at it as it was a job. Even doing shows, I look at it as a job. I still go, some people are happy with, the night, how it forms. Like, some people feel like, wow, it's a night. It's about drinking champagne. I'm going to take 3 girls home with me. I'm going to have a threesome. I'm going to have a party. I'm going to, I'm going to do a bumper line of Coke and all that. And I'm going to take a bunch of pills, and that's going to be a successful night to be greater. To me, I've never done all that, the pill stuff and all that. And, the Coke stuff. I mean, back in the days, promoters would give me Coke and stuff. But my lifestyle, I had friends that were porno stars, and I came home and had the porn stars in my house, and we all partying. Jimmy Z, Ron Hightower and Jeannie Pepper, all of them was my neighbors and stuff like that in Los Angeles. So me, I think as a person who did music I think I did a rock star life before, and I had that, but I didn't go overboard with it. Like, you know, I'm used to that. A lot of these guys now, they can't handle that. They end up meeting like the most prettiest girl they thought they could never pull in the world. See, a lot of these guys need records to pull a girl. I didn't need like a record. I had girlfriends before I made music, so I still had confidence to go to a club and meet a regular girl. That happened for me in my life. You take a lot of these guys now, they didn't have the status to pull a girl without the music or the status they are in now, basically being famous. They couldn't do it because that was something that didn't happen for them. They just didn't have the gift, or they needed to have, you know, a car or something, or a lot of jewelry on their neck. Like I had all those things to see that I still could pull a woman without me wearing something, you know, to make them think they need to gravitate to me that way. So I had my life. I was used to, you know, I think I lived the star life that these guys, when they was going out to clubs, popping big bottles next to basketball players and football players every night, I could go home and have that same party with champagne, and everybody was at my house. The porn stars was at my house, and guys would come over. They couldn't even handle it. They would keep, oh shit, you got champagne over here, and you know, menage a trois chilling with you, like, and I'd be like calm, like, you know, cooking some French fries, but they was looking more like, what are you doing? Like, this is different. Oh, I'm losing my mind. You know, I'm like, I do this shit, you know. I've been on tour buses. Dave Grohl was my friend, and the rock stars, and, you know, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and, you know, Anthony and Flea. I seen them at shows, and they have like 20 girls waiting for them, and I'm looking at them like, in my mind, I caught myself like, hold up, I'm like, Anthony, I ain't talking to them. And they used to be like, and they got a stadium getting ready to get packed, like the getting ready to get packed, like, and the girls are there looking at them like, wow. But they're in their dressing rooms like it's normal. Like, yo, we do this every night, Keith, man. This is nothing. And, you know, hot blondes are waiting outside for them standing by the door. But they didn't care. They didn't seem like they was more experienced with that. Like, they handled it like, we can ready to go out here and do this show. We do this all the time. I saw the drummer, and he was there. You know, their drummer. They were cool. They was like, I was amazed by that. I was like, wow, these guys ain't tripping off this shit. Like, it's all kinds of blondes everywhere with tight pants on, thongs on, see-through breasts, titties like Dolly Parton back in the day sticking out. They didn't care about it. They didn't care.
Yeah.
They did not care. They didn't care about none of it. They was like, yo, we getting ready to go play our drums, grab our guitars, and they got off stage and did the same shit, closed the door. They had a room that was like real dark, and they were drinking tea, like chamomile, like some chamomile. They had teas, all kinds of teas, and, you know, I'm looking at these dudes like, man, these is big rock stars, super big rock stars, and the way they handling this stuff, like, but you got these guys now, they can't handle that stuff. They go out and get rape charges and go do stuff that they don't supposed to do because they never had a girlfriend. And back in maybe junior high school, they never had a girlfriend. Up to now, they making a record. They got a couple of things, a couple of pieces of jewelry around their neck, but they never had an experience with no success. So they say one thing, what you never had, you don't understand. You know what I'm saying? If you never did it before, you don't understand it. So a lot of these guys never did it. They don't understand it. So when you know, you start to feel like you needed all this stuff to pull this girl. You needed all these, you know, these pieces of the puzzle to pull a girl. So you never had no natural instinct to pull a woman just talking with your natural personality. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, that's the same kind of thing as like players getting, you know, sports players just going straight from high school to the pros or whatever. They're not cultivating themselves as people to get to a point where you know what the hell to do when you get into certain situations. And it's not only even basketball players. Some of them guys came from
small towns. Now they playing in a big city. It's the same with a rapper. Even a lot of the new rappers and stuff, like, they never had those experiences. To them, that stuff is brand new, and they're trying to really show you, like, oh, we having this is how we doing it. But you looking at them like, yo, I did that before. I can still do it, and I did that before. It don't impress me. Like, your mind is really, you're happy because you never really probably pulled the girl in your life. You know what I'm saying? And you got a lot of these guys never pulled the pretty girl in their life, and to them, that's real big and successful. They like, man, I went through junior high school with no girlfriend. I went to high school, 9th grade with nobody. I was the ugliest guy in the whole world. I finally get a chance to meet, I finally get a chance to meet a girl that looks beautiful. And you know what they do? They don't know how to act. They be like, yo, I never had a chance to meet a girl. Like, and now I'm gonna be her. I'm gonna have a baby with her. I've been the ugliest motherfucker all my life, and now I got money and I bought some jewelry. The jewelry make me look pretty. Frankenstein with some chains on. I'm in there. So that's what you have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They're finally seeing what would they see on the internet. Now they're seeing it in real life.
Yeah. So that shit is a dream come true. Like, money make you beautiful.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, I got a quick question for you, and I'll let you go because I really appreciate the time. So here's the thing. I got what is going on, man, with this Lotion Man thing? Because that's the funniest shit that I've seen in a long time. Are you still doing that show or whatever? That's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Oh, Lotion Man. Oh yeah. Oh, you mean that thing? I'm working on that. I'm working on that skit sometime. I'm working on that skit thing. It might be a movie. I'm working on that.
It better be, because I feel like
I'm working on that.
Yeah, you got some good comedy chops. Whether you're
yeah. I'm working on some of that stuff.
Yeah, that's good shit. I really enjoyed that.
But I'm those are the things my jewels of telling you. The gems I'm telling you stuff.
All right. So, I'll let you get on out of here. Now, if you want, you don't have to. I mean, if you want to freestyle like our theme song, Art Fight Podcast, that's fine. If you need us to cut you a big check for that, we'll send it later.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Big check.
What'd they send you?
Nah.
A big check? They send you big check? Oh, you just joking with me.
I'm just fucking with you. And Keith is a killer record, man. It's like, it's got a spirit about it that takes me back a little bit, and you really.
Oh yeah. Keith is like the essence of the Bronx again. Psycho less production, and me just getting raw and, like you're saying, proving to the critics, like, I get at it. It was really a back-to-back thing with Mellow Man Music with the
Feature Magnetic
album. Yeah. And then the follow up with that was a great, he has two great masterpieces back to back.
Yes,
and,
definitely.
I put all my lyrics into it and everything, and the album was put together great, and I got to pick the beats I wanted. And as far as me working with Psycho Les was a great honor, because it was like the freedom, and musically the production freedom was great. And like you said, I'd never been so pressured in making an album, in my life. So this was a great time working with him. I mean, doing that record and song for song, from even the collaborations with Paul Wall and J. Rue the Damager, Be Real, was great. Just not filling the album up way on my own, whereas a lot of people couldn't do that, fulfill that. I mean, just the pawns of who I picked for the project was great. So the album was put together. I listen to it a lot myself. I do have a album, but there are tracks that you might have to fast forward 1 or 2 or 3. But this album, to me, like, I like, once again, another album, less fast forward, no fast forwarding at all, basically. I don't like the fast forward. I think I can go all the way with a track, which was great, so I could listen to the album. You can definitely put your headphones on and grab you a beer and listen to the album all the way through. No, it's not like, some people make an album and it's always one or two cuts somewhere that's going to be like, I'm going to fast forward these right now. These ones are too long and too slow and the beats are too kind of not what it is. I'm going to, it's hard to make the Key to the Keith album was what I like about the album? The Key to the Keith album was, I like the song arrangements, and I didn't even do this one. But, when you arrange songs, it's great, too, when you put what's first, what's second, what's third, what's fourth, and what's fifth. The follow-up of the album, the sequence.
Yeah, the sequence,
is great.
Yeah. No, it is, man. It's real good, and it's got, like... there's stuff that kind of, there's enough stuff that feels new, but there's also enough stuff that feels like it's tied to the past in a nostalgic way. There's some stuff that kind of reminds a little bit of like a I Love You Nancy kind of vibe on one track. And, it's like a little bit of like, oh yeah, this kind of reminds me of this, but it's still new and deep, and the sounds are thick. Yeah, it's great.
It's like, it's like a lot of people like Holy Water and stuff because it's like a futuristic, it's the futuristic, it's like the futuristic Barry White. So that's what it is. They didn't catch, it's just, you can create something again, but it can be brand new, so.
Yeah. Well, you definitely did it, man. And again, it's a super honor. I want to let you go because I've taken up enough of your time.
And hit me on Ultraman7000 Twitter, and good luck and everything. And get back to me anything you need and everything. All right. And the Keith album, and look out for more albums out there, more and more.
Thank you, Keith. Have a good one, man. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Thanks.